Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a deep dive and look into passive income, what that exactly means, and what it means to just the average person trying to achieve something like that. I had a friend recently come up to me and ask me how she could start making some extra money on the side with not a lot of money to begin with. She watched a lot of YouTube videos, read a lot of articles, but came back and said a lot of these things were hard and it didn't seem like they were really achievable or attainable for just the average person looking to start out, make some extra money on the side. Before I get into this, I want to say that I'm not criticizing people for having passive income. I think it's definitely a great and awesome thing that a lot of people have been able to build up sources of income for themselves to create a living off of doing things that they really love, creating content for people to enjoy. I also understand that a lot of people are curious about how their favorite content creators can make their money or different things that they do, and this could be also a form of entertainment for them to just know more about their favorite people. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to focus on just the average person starting out with not a lot of money or resources and how they can or can't use a lot of these popular methods that are talked about online to build up passive income sources. I also just want to make a distinction between passive income and just actual income. Technically, the definition of passive income, just making money, not having to do anything to manage that, just getting it passively every month or every year, versus active income, where we often think of something as working a full-time job, getting wages, getting a salary. But for a lot of big content creators, a lot of these passive income sources are also just their income sources. Their job is to build and maintain these passive income sources. For example, if you're an online content creator or a streamer, if you've gone full-time, your entire job is to create content, to think of content, make videos, stream video games, do tutorials, how-tos. This is very much managed, and although the revenue from these things, once the video is up, you can get that revenue as long as it's up. If you don't actively maintain and manage your community, your viewers, and your content, this revenue will die down. So a lot of effort is put to build up these streams. I don't want people to think this is something really easy just because it's called passive income. Now, diving into the common passive income sources that people talk about online, the first thing, YouTube ad revenue. So this is YouTube content creators making videos, posting them to YouTube, and monetizing those videos with ads. As of now, the standard that YouTube has for a channel to become eligible to be monetized is gaining 1,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 public watch hours. This is the bare minimum to start getting monetized, and if you want to see any significant money from YouTube ad revenue, you definitely would have to have a little bit more than the bare minimum. Even if your channel does get monetized, the type of content you're producing also will depend on how much money you get. Education and finance channels can see higher revenues from ads, whereas some gaming, prank channels, other things like that will see lower revenues. This could be as low as $1 per 1,000 views. So it really depends on the type of content and your audience and how engaged they are to see how much money you can make from YouTube. And starting a channel is hard. It takes a lot of time and effort and dedication for someone to start filming videos, editing them, and posting them. You have to learn all aspects of the creative process. And to get more into it, the more complex things such as the algorithms, keyword targeting, thumbnail making, title making, all of the small things that you have to be good at if you want to be successful in an environment that's so competitive with so many awesome content creators out there. It is hard. I'm not saying this is impossible, but it is hard. You're not going to just get 1 million subscribers overnight. That's very rare. If you ask any large YouTuber how they started out, they probably tell you it took a lot of time and effort, dedication, without returns before they were able to break through and finally get a lot of viewers, followers, and eventually building up that passive income stream. The second thing a lot of people mention when talking about passive income is affiliate marketing. If you've seen any YouTube videos, you've most likely heard or seen creators talking about their Amazon affiliate links. This is very widely used. They'll link to a product on Amazon, and if you buy that product or make any other purchases on the website, the creator gets a portion of that purchase. Now, from my experience, As with starting a channel, this does depend on your viewers. I started a smaller gaming channel about a year ago now, and I'm coming up on around 1,000 subscribers. I have around 200,000 views total, so this kind of gives you an idea of where I'm at. And year to date, I've made exactly $0 through Amazon affiliate marketing. I've put links in the description of all my videos, but I don't actively push or try to sell any products. My channel is mostly focused on gaming. I leave links to the equipment I use and some other gaming related items for people to check out if they want to, but I guess clearly no one has. What you also want to consider is how your viewers are watching your videos. For me, about 80% of them are watching from their phones on mobile devices. And I think if someone's watching a video on their phone, they're less likely to try to go down and make any purchases, as opposed to if they're on their desktop, on their computer, if they're watching product reviews, something that they're highly interested in, and they're very likely to click that link to buy that product. It depends on what your audience is, where they're consuming your content. I would say it's a lot easier for someone to make some money if they're a more review-focused channel or website, if they're putting out product reviews or recommendations. And people who are interested in that product can easily watch that review, make a purchasing decision, and then click that link, buy that item, and the creator gets a portion of that purchase. The third source of passive income a lot of people talk about is through donations such as Patreons or PayPal accounts or just selling merchandise. Once again, this is tied to people who already have a large following, a large viewer base, fans that are interested in first giving them views and that ad revenue, those clicks, and second, even deeper, and feel compelled to go out there and donate to or to buy merchandise from them. And before we move on to the second half of this video, I just want to kind of recap and summarize the first three things. It seems like a lot of these videos that claim to have 10, 15 sources of passive income for people to go and do actually boil down to just one. If you're a creator, doesn't matter if you make YouTube videos, if you have a Twitch stream, you're playing video games, or if you run a website or blog, the main source where your followers or viewers come to consume content that you produce. Things like Amazon affiliate marketing, Patreon donations, selling merchandise, all come from having that one main source. So if you want to just post up donation links on your personal social media, you start a website with no one going to it, chances are you probably won't have a lot of passive income from those sources. They all stream down from that main source of income. So when people say they have 15 sources of passive income, it really just boils down to one or two. The first being popular creator having a popular channel or stream or website that people can go and view, and from that they click on links or donations. And the second we'll talk about now is passive income through investments and money. Moving on to number 4, investments. I'm gonna lump in a couple common ones here. We see dividend stocks, high interest savings accounts, and just investing money in businesses. To start, these methods do have a higher barrier of entry than the other ones, than creating content. Anyone can go out and film themselves or to just write articles on a blog. But to make any sizable amount of money from financial investments, you do have to have some money to start with. Assuming you're not just gambling your money on risky options tradings or lottery tickets, as we call, betting on the stock market to go down 50% in 2 months. These more traditional passive income sources such as dividend stocks, you need a decent amount of money to begin making money off of these sources. For example, I saw a couple articles or videos saying that they've made a couple $100s a year from dividend stocks, but what they didn't really tell you is that their entire portfolio was worth over $50,000. So you need that $50,000 just to get a couple $100s from dividends. If you think about just having $100, let's say that stock pays 2% dividend, you're only getting $2. That's not even enough to keep up with inflation most of the time. And especially in the financial times that we're in right now, a lot of companies have suspended their dividends, and other companies are expected to as well moving forward, just given the financial environment we're in right now. So even that source has now been cut off. And while high interest savings accounts could have been a great way to make some money, the interest rates have been getting lower and lower since with competition. And with that, you also do need a sizable amount of free money to just be able to sit there and do nothing to grow and make you more money. And the third investment with businesses, it's really easy to say I'm making a couple $1,000s a month from my business, but you have to consider the cost of going into it and the work that you're putting into running and starting a business. I'm not saying don't go and start a business. Businesses are great. Small businesses are great for the economy, but you have to consider all of these costs and to be able to have that initial capital to get up and running. For people such as students or beginner investors, it's really hard to make a lot of money from these things right off the bat. A great way is to invest consistently over time to build towards retirement, but this is not something that you can just put $100 into and start making thousands of dollars a month from it. The fifth and last thing I want to touch upon today is rental income. A lot of people point to passive income from real estate as another source of their revenue. Now, while this is a great way to make passive income without putting much work into it, especially if you're hiring property managers and you have people managing that section of the business for you, it is very capital intensive and you do need a lot of money down to get this business up and running. Like I said before, with investing in businesses, it's easy to say you can make $5,000 a month from renting out 2 properties. But what you have to consider is the money it took to buy those 2 properties, the mortgages that you're paying into every month, the maintenance fees, the service fees, and money you're paying property managers, if any, which reduces the amount of total revenue to the amount of total profit you're making. Now, this might just be a couple $100s or a couple $1,000s a month, and it's easy to scale that up with more money you have. If you can make $1,000 a month from each property, but you have 100 properties, that's a lot of money, but think about how much money it takes for you to buy 100 properties. That's even more money. So once again, for a person with limited means just starting out, this is definitely not something that can be easily attainable or for someone to do right off the bat. Now, to wrap this video up, I know a lot of this has been spent talking about passive income and how it's not as great as it actually seems or looks like, which is true for some extent, but I don't want to discourage anyone who's trying to become a content creator and trying to build up these sources for them. If no one tried, then no one would be creating content. We wouldn't have all these creators that we love to watch and follow. Someone has to go out there and do it. But the goal of this video is to just try to explain and think about these things critically and understand that this is not something that everyone can do or is interested in doing. Creating content might not be something that's reasonable for a lot of people. Maybe they just want to make a lot of their passive money from investments, something that they don't really have to manage and pay attention to. That's fine. Just realize that doing these things takes a lot of work, but don't get discouraged. I just want to say, do something you like, do something you're interested in, and don't start doing it just because you hope to build up some sources of income in the future. If you're passionate and knowledgeable in a subject, I truly think that passion and knowledge will show. Working on your craft and perfecting it, and as time goes on, you'll find followers, you'll build up those streams of income, and if you're not able to, that's fine. It's something you like to do, it's a hobby, you're passionate about it, you're not losing anything trying to create content for others. Now, on the other side, if you start out just with a goal to make money and you're ultimately not successful, this can leave you with a feeling of feeling rejected, or maybe you just want to keep dumping money into that investment and trying to make it work when it doesn't. And if you are producing content and it becomes clear that you're just out there to push for links, advertisements, sponsorships, donations that can distract from your main content and what people are there to watch. They're there to watch you, to be entertained, to learn, etc. Let me know if this video was helpful for you, if this gave you some ideas and some things to think about when you're looking into building passive income sources. Like the video, stay subscribed. I have some ideas for videos coming up where you can make a little bit of money just starting off. But thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Peace out.